please tell us where you're from and Mr. Touhey.
Hello, I'm Patrick Touhey. I'm from the town of Norfolk, Massachusetts. One of the 11 towns that had town meetings for ballot questions that voted their towns to direct the state to revert back to the MCAS standards and get rid of Common Core and PARCC. More states will be voting on it in the future. I want to thank you for having these forums, although I think that 3 is too late. I believe that 3 is too late. They should have been done during the PARCC administration. The PARCC administration and the Department of Education signed on to these standards without any public forums in the middle of the summer of 2010. I think it was wrong to do that, especially since the MCAS standards in the 90s went through the lengthy scrutiny with the public, teachers, and higher education. A little background about myself. I'm a product of progressive engineering and education. I went to Boston Public Schools in the late 70s and the early 80s during the forced busing, which basically took a really good school system and destroyed it by bringing some kids from one side of town to the other side of town and basically taking parents right out of schools. Also taking civic education right out of school as well. I've learned a lot since that time. I've done a lot of self-education. I've worked for some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in the world. I didn't graduate high school, I got a GED. I never went to college. But I did a lot of self-education. And I found out there was a lot of education in that time when I was in high school that wasn't being taught. And I see it still happening. Cursive, something that I think is very important, especially in the younger grades, is being totally ignored. My 13-year-old daughter basically she can write her name. You're focusing on typing on keyboards for 6 and 7-year-olds when their frontal lobe haven't been fully developed yet. I got studies, piles of them in this notebook here that's saying that cursive is very important in the development of young minds, not computers. I'm amazed that our generation and above have gone to where we are without computers and assessment testing. How did we get here? Seriously. Foundational learning in the old way of doing things is essential to becoming technologically advanced. How did Bill Gates? Did he have computers then? No, he helped with Windows software. How did Steve Jobs become Steve Jobs? He didn't have a computer in school, he didn't take assessment testing. He did reading and he did handwriting, cursive handwriting. If you read him, he wouldn't allow iPads in his, kids wouldn't allow to use technology at all. Technology, I believe, is a wonderful thing. I've been involved in it for 25 years. And it's a proper tool. It's not the cure-all for kids to learn. It is not the cure-all. Every day, more and more people are waking up to what's happening.
Just to model the new shot clock, that's 3 minutes, so I'll give you a little more time. But that's,
you're smart. Every day, more and more people are waking up. As you can see, this forum is full. People are waking up, and they're finding out that Common Core is a bill of goods that was sold to us. Not Pearson Publishing was a UK-based company who's making money per test. That's why they want all the growth controlling our schools.
That's true.
Thank you very much. I would like to get back to my... Common Core.
Good evening. I'm Tammy Johnson. I'm a parent of 2 daughters. One daughter that's 24 years old that went through the MCAS system, and a daughter of a 10-year-old that is currently going through the PARCC system. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher since 1993, and I've been through a lot of changes, and some good and some tough. And currently, I'm an educational leader. I have been, within the last couple of years, part of a leader in the EAPC, Education Association of Plymouth Copper. I also have been a board member of the Massachusetts Teachers Association. Education has been my life, and children are not getting what they deserve. I am one of those people that is waking up. Again, I was one of those elementary school teachers. I taught 5th grade for 9 years when I started out, and I just went with the flow. And I was told it wasn't gonna go away. This is what's gonna happen. Well, I'm gonna turn the tables. I'm not going away. I want to reclaim education. I believe in school improvement and work hard towards developing the best possible environment for our students. I love to try new pedagogy, love to differentiate instruction. I have been embracing PBIS, positive behavior intervention. I understand change is good, but the PARCC test doesn't test for college and career readiness. Unless I don't see it, where it's not transparent, it is run by a business. It tests ELA, math, arguably higher order thinking skills. It is not testing workplace readiness, qualities and strategies that are in the own document from DESE. It doesn't teach students attendance. As a matter of fact, I think it's going to do the reverse. Kids that want to do well in school are not going to come in to take this test. It doesn't teach your parents. It doesn't teach motivation. Motivation is the key to get children learning. The more testing we have in the classroom is going to take this away from them. Those are the things that we need to prepare for our teach. Those are the things we need time to teach. Are the tests pushing students away? I'm asking you. Does the PARCC measure college and career readiness? Are these students necessarily ready to get a job and go to college? We see the MCAS, the higher ed people were up here and they talked about how that the students are not prepared. I'm not so sure that testing is the way. I'm sorry, I'll go right. Our schools are in dire need of renovation for safety reasons and technological devices. I'm in one of the school districts in Carver that doesn't have all the money, and we had those devices taken away from our classroom instead of being used for learning. Young children need to have experience that motivate curiosity, that become part of a long-term memories in order to succeed in school. The 6th grade students I see in front of me I see full of anxiety, more so than they have in the past. Let our children learn about the schools, about technology first, and how to use it for the love of learning, not testing. PARCC test practices not development appropriate. The entire staff in January of the our Carver School District took the practice test that aligned with either a subject area or grade level. All the teachers felt the practice tests were inappropriate. Math teachers took at least 3 hours, well past the 90-minute time in taking that test. Again, I understand these are the old test items, but it's not going in the right direction. Time. After listening to all this testimony of how much time that our administrators and teachers and educators spent towards just administering and implementing the test, it's just incredibly unbelievable. We need those administrators to help us support in the classroom, to help us support our students to learn, not to implement a test. We need to step back. I urge you, I know, I'm so sorry, I have more and I'm skipping. The PARCC does not, it's not transparent. We've been taught backward by design. Knowing what we're testing, so when we create these environment and learning experiences for our children, they fit what they're being tested, yet we don't have any idea, and won't until December. There's lots of room for improvement. Use our knowledge from already administrating the MCAS. This is what I'm asking you to do, instead of making the same mistakes over again for a test that's not transparent. I plead to the Board of Education to discontinue use of the park in the future. Our children deserve better. Less catching, more teaching. Thank you so much for your opportunity. I'd like to thank Governor Baker for having these open forum meetings and you for all coming today. My name is Twiss Gioscia, and I'm a mom of a 5th and 7th grader, and I'm on the Halifax School Committee. I ran for the school committee because I don't like Common Core and all that comes with it. In Halifax, more than 70% of those voting voted a non-binding ballot question requesting the governor to repeal Common Core. We join Abington, Brookfield, Hamden, Hanson, Holland, Lakeville, Norfolk, Tewksbury, Uxbridge, Whitman, and Wilbraham in doing so. As you can see, the anti-Common Core revolution is growing and getting stronger. In the description of today's event, the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education announced that it's holding a forum to see if we should quote-unquote sunset MCAS and quote adopt Common Core aligned PARCC tests. What a beautiful word, sunset. I think a better word to describe it would be dumping. Dumping the test that helped make Massachusetts #1, dumping the test that was tested and developed by educators and gets tweaked about every 5 years. Now let's talk about adopting PARCC. Like it's a puppy that needs a home. Adopt means to take up, or to start, or to follow. Follow. You're considering following a test that is based on the Common Core standards that are copywritten and privately owned. They're not created as a part of a democratic system and that has not been fully tested. Some of the people grading the test are hired from Craigslist at about $13 an hour, who get paid by volume as well as accuracy. They have college degrees. They don't have to major in what they're grading. But they do not necessarily have to have teaching experience, and they don't even have to come in for a personal interview. I own a business that would never hire someone like that. The publisher of tests, Pearson, just lost a lawsuit for over $7 million for using their nonprofit organization to make money for their profit arm. That sounds a bit shady to me, doesn't it? In New Jersey alone, they had 46,000 students walk out and refuse the PARCC testing this spring. Principals and teachers are speaking out, and some are even leaving the profession because of it. It sounds like we would be adopting the puppy that chews the couch and bites the neighbor who will now sue you and pees on everything and has fleas. I urge you not to make this adoption. I hope you vote not to adopt PARCC. I hope that you acknowledge that you made a big mistake going down the Common Core path and that you sunset Common Core